What's going on, guys? I'm getting ready to run a second opinion from a homeowner that had a company come out and tell her she needed to replace her 8-year-old system, but they came out and, it's our local experts of service in this market, and their branch in our area anyway. And look at right here. Clean outdoor coil, clean with water, and may include water soluble detergent. Do not use chemical coil cleaners unless the coil is impacted with grease. Clean the outdoor coil. $555 right there. Indoor coil clean in place. The coil may be cleaned without removing it from the refrigerant circuit. $447. So clean the outdoor coil and the indoor coil, we're looking at $1,000. $633 for a hard start kit, including the Supco Super Boost, which they cost what, $30, $40? I don't know. Anyway, coil cleaning, and then add $155 a pound for 410A refrigerant. Clean the outdoor coil, $555. Clean the indoor coil. You talk about a ripoff. These equity companies. Let's go check this unit out and see what kind of condition it's really in. So we are looking at about an 8-year-old York system. It was on this townhouse when she bought it. And as far as $555 to clean the condenser coil, it's a micro-channel coil. But I'm not seeing that it needs a $500 cleaning. It's got some stuff around the top, just a general maintenance. Would be okay for it, but I can assure you that's not gonna get $555. She could just buy a 3-year one system service plan with us, and we'll clean it 3 times. Looking in the electrical panel, that's the start relay, but I don't think that's an OEM situation for this thing. Obviously it's all crusted on the top, so it definitely needs to be replaced. I'll give them that one. About $650 though, but I will recommend that. The refrigerant charge, we're running a 124/337 with a 17 superheat and a 15 subcool. She does have zoning, so I wonder if she doesn't have a problem with her zoning. Maybe. She said it froze up one time, but I don't think the refrigerant charge has anything to do with that. Let's go look under the house and see what we can find. What in the hell? Damn. Well, too bad she doesn't need any refrigerant. She's got a jug sitting here under her deck. There's probably about 15 pounds in it. See, the fitting's all rusted. It's been sitting here a while. So I just charge her a flat rate to add refrigerant to it, and she's got her own. I don't even think she knows it's down here. It's probably been here since the damn unit was installed. Suppose the other company didn't snatch it. Anyway, let's see what we got going on in here. I know she's got some air leakage because it's kind of cool down here. Dehumidifier. And one of these things. So we've got one of these. Oh, let me turn my light on. Little hot water heating system on here. So you see that on some townhouses around here, but it's I wouldn't want to. I mean, the money you spend keeping your hot water hot, all the gas you burn around here to heat the house with, blowing air like crazy. They didn't seal that back up. Look at that. That's probably why it's cool down here. That door is supposed to overlap that lip when you put it on, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, there's your little hole right there, and your screw goes in out here when you put the door. Yeah, I can get that straightened out, but anyway. Alright, so we got a 64-degree supply temperature. If you go over there and check it, it only showed a 15-degree split, but that duct right there is my bypass for the zoning. So when you check each individual duct, the one from downstairs is 81, the one from upstairs is 86. We're 83, 84 degrees. So if you put your probe in right there, you're going to get that bypass. You still get some cool air in there even when it's closed. And you're not going to get a true return temperature. So that 15-degree subcooling is bothering me a little bit. I'm wondering if it's not actually overcharged. I have to research. This has got a TXV in it, but I don't know if it's, you know, what the subcooling is. Not on the outdoor unit. 15, I mean, there's some temp stars out there now that have a 16-degree subcooling on it, so I don't want to mess with it too much. But I'm down to 62. We'll see what the inside of this thing looks like. Alright, got this thing opened up, and there's our pump for our hot water right there. And like I said, this is kind of like an Apollo style unit. You use hot water heating for your heating. And it's a townhouse, and it's in the middle of the building, so outside exposures just on the front and the back, not the sides. But I don't like the idea of how much gas I'm gonna burn heating the house with hot water, because now you got to reheat the hot water for that, reheat the hot water for your shower. I don't know. I ain't ever been a fan of that mess. But we're going to check the capacitor real quick. As far as the evaporator coil, well, let me get a better light for you, and you can look at that and make your own judgment call. Where's my flashlight at? Damn, there it is. So you make your judgment call on that. There's the evaporator coil. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff on it, but I'm not seeing a $447 cleaning in there anywhere. You get that little bit off with a brush and spray some cleaner on it real good and let it rinse, and I mean, that side looks fine. $447 to clean the evaporator coil. $555 to clean that condenser coil out there. But I mean, it could use a maintenance. It just hasn't never had one. But today, when I can start collecting $500 to clean that coil and $400 to clean an indoor coil on a regular basis, that's going to be my new job. I'm just going to go around and clean units for $1,000 a pop. What a scam that is. But anyway, let's see what this capacitor is reading over here. I mean, she could have a TXV problem, the intermittent issue. She said it froze up one time. She could have an intermittent issue with one of these damper motors sticking closed or something. That might have happened. I'm gonna cycle them a couple of times and test them, see how they work. All right, get my leads on there. And 5.3 on that. Let's see what size it is. Got the humidifier down here. There's mosquitoes in this damn. My elbow has been popped twice already. That's why I was standing over there, because that air was blowing out, keeping them off of me. Oh well, I meant to flip that around, not take it off. Let's see what size our capacitor is. They didn't recommend this, so I have to assume this is good, or they didn't check it at all. That's a big 5 microfarad capacitor there. Let me loosen that a little bit more. That was 5.3. So that makes me suspicious. But I don't know, it might be a 5. Damn, it's stuck in there. There we go. What size is this thing? That's a 7.5. That might be why she froze up right there. Damn capacitors. Reading 5 out of 7.5. Maybe that hot weather we were having, you got 2 zones, this thing's running all the damn time. Maybe that motor got hot. So right now, the only thing I'm seeing legitimate. I mean, she does need a maintenance. She don't need a damn $1,000 one, that's for sure. But replacing this capacitor and then that start kit outside, that's going to cause a problem at some point. If it even still tests good. We'll go out there and test it in a minute. We'll get this door back on. I'm going to put some tape on that to get that air to quit blowing out of there. Alright, see, that's how that door goes on. It's supposed to overlap. And you got the screw that goes on there, so now the air won't be blowing out. Because it's closed and overlapped like it's supposed to. They probably sent their 20-year-old out here. Their sales tech, he wasn't familiar with how to put a door back on a unit correctly, so that's par for the course. DAT sensor's unplugged for whatever reason. That'll help keep it from freezing up, but I mean, it could be bad. I have to ohm it out and test it. I'll do that before I plug that back in. So the purge light's flashing on this thing. That usually indicates either the DAT sensor is not connected or it's bad. So it was flat. I'm gonna finish connecting it and see if that goes out. Yeah, it went out. Maybe they unplugged that so it would freeze up again. And that's what's supposed to prevent that. I think it's 40 degrees is what this board comes preset to. Maybe they left that unplugged hoping it'd freeze up again. She'd call back and beg for a new system. Yeah, it's draining water. I'm gonna go ahead and recommend, obviously, that thing's leaking. It needs to be replaced or something else done with it. You don't need a hard start in a unit unless the compressor won't start. So, I mean, I could disconnect it and see. I mean, I guess it's a free call. I ain't gonna do a whole lot out here, but contactor could have stuck closed on it. That might be why it froze. It doesn't look bad. I know that needs to be replaced. Probably doesn't need to be in there, to tell you the truth. I don't know if this one came with that from the factory or not. I'd have to call and ask. But go ahead and recommend replacing that capacitor too, because it's rusted all to pieces up there, and it won't be long anyway. And I'm not going to go through all the trouble of testing it. It's working right now, but it's original. So if that other one in there is weak, I'm pretty sure this one's weak too. So I'm going to recommend replacing both of those. And as far as it freezing up, I mean, could be the contactor stuck. It could be more than likely one of those damper motors in there got stuck. Possibly. They're working right now, but a $555 outdoor coil cleaning and a $450 indoor coil cleaning isn't going to fix that problem. But anyway, I mean, the head pressure is 340. It's 80, roughly 82 degree average in the house, and it's 95 degrees outside right now. So that head pressure is not 339, 341. It's not telling me this coil is stop, slam up, but it could be cleaned. Anyway, guys, we're not going to charge her $500 to do that, I promise. But I'm going to recommend the start capacitor get replaced, that capacitor, indoor capacitor and let it ride. She's got all the Freon she needs sitting right over there under the deck. I'm gonna let her know about that. And anyway, I don't think it needs any. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.